Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
It is a cool, crisp afternoon for baseball here in the Motor Cities. We welcome you to Comerica Park, and we welcome you to the third and final game featuring the Chicago White Sox and your Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen, glad to have you with us for the series finale here today. The Tigers had a rough day yesterday. We all know that, but Ron, it's one of those days where you say, okay, well, we lost this one. Let's move on.
No doubt about that. Way too much Chris Sale yesterday, who was on one. He was 97, 98 in the very first inning. In the middle of their batting order, finally woke up yesterday.
All right, here's the good news. Shane Green will take the mound today for the Tigers. He has been outstanding in his first two starts and really maybe better than we thought he might be.
Very efficient. I just love the fact that he's pitching to a lot of contact. He knows he has tremendous defenders behind him, especially up the middle when they've got Ghost and Davis in center field, Kenzer Iglesias at the shortstop and second base position. How about this? One of three starters to have not allowed an earned run in his first couple of starts this season. Martinez and Jimenez are the other two on that list, but I really love what he's done. He'll need that changeup today against a lot of these left-handed bats, though.
He is a strike thrower, and we look forward to seeing him pitch again here this afternoon. After a short break, we'll send you back to the Call Sam Studios. Check in with Matt Shepard, but coming up in this one here this afternoon, J.D. picking up where he left off. Another home run yesterday, his fifth of the year. Martinez and the Tigers taking on the Sox. Next. Today, the Tigers getting set to take on the Chicago White Sox. Today's starting pitcher is Shane Green, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Green has been outstanding this year. He has won 2 games. He has not lost a game. The opponents are hitting only 132 against him. He's always around the strike zone, so the infielders, they know they're going to be busy this afternoon, especially if he's staying at the bottom of the zone.
Here is the White Sox starting lineup presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Eaton, Cabrera, and Abreu in the top 3 spots. Abreu just continued to pound Tigers pitching yesterday. LaRoche, the DH. Garcia's in right field. Connor Gillespie is at third. Bottom 3 today features Ramirez, Flowers, and Micah Johnson. So Shane Green makes his 3rd start for the Tigers here in the 2015 campaign. He will face Adam Eaton to start things off.
Tigers have done a very nice job in the first 2 games of this series, keeping their leadoff hitter Adam Eaton off the base paths.
Eaton was on base just once yesterday, walked and scored a run on a day in which the White Sox were pounding the baseball all over the lot. They had 17 hits. First pitch of today's game is outside. 1 ball and no strikes on Eaton. Batting just 143 so far this year. Shane Green ready with the 1-0 pitch. Here it is. And it's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Green's last start against Pittsburgh, 8 innings, 3 hits, 3 strikeouts. Didn't walk anybody. In fact, Green has only 1 walk all year. And he missed inside. Now he goes to 3-0 on Eaton. Waiting on deck, Melky Cabrera. Bit of a breeze blowing out toward right field in this ball game today. Eaton will take it to strike 3-1.
Adam Eaton might just take another strike right down the middle. That's what good leadoff hitters do.
Eaton started the year 2 for his first 25. That has kept his average low. And he does take another. It's a strike, 3-2. Shane Green, 5-4 last year with the Yankees. That's fouled back out of play. It was the 2 starts against the Tigers that caught the Tigers' attention. They allowed just 2 runs in 15 innings of work versus Tigers hitters last year, and now here he is wearing the Old English D.
Of all the rookies the Tigers saw last year, none impressed me as much as Shane Green did.
There's a walk to Eaton.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense presented by Bill Fox Chevrolet. In the outfield, they have Cespedes, Davis, and J.D. Martinez. The infield, 3rd to 1st, reads Castellanos, Iglesias, Kinsler, the big fella, Miguel Cabrera at 1st, and James McCann. He's getting the start once again here today against the left-hander, Quintana. Close pitch.
Yeah, it didn't miss by a whole lot. It was up and in, though. Leadoff man on here is Melky Cabrera for the White Sox, and he looks at a ball outside, and normally we see kind of the reversal for Shane Green. A lot of strikes and no balls, but he has missed his own early today.
And we told you yesterday, if you were with us, that their leadoff hitter has some speed, but last year wasn't that good at stealing bases. He stole 15, but he was caught 9 times.
And outside again, 2 balls, no strikes. Cabrera 4 for 9 in the series. All 4 of those hits came in the ball game yesterday.
2 of those hits that he got against Sandoval Sanchez, he picked the ball off the dirt and got base hits.
Now Green ready with the 2-0. And it's in there, 2-1.
It's a good count to run here. If you're Adam Eaton, you know if it's a strike that Cabrera has outstanding hand-eye coordination. He's going to put it in play.
Melky has the average up to 238 with his 4-hit performance yesterday. Here's the 2-1. Ripped foul down the right field line. 2-2 the count. Well, they're counting on Cabrera to provide some offense. Are the White Sox this year. Had a really good year last year with the Toronto Blue Jays at 301.
He's an outstanding fastball hitter and batting 2nd in the Chicago White Sox batting order ahead of Jose Abreu. He's going to get a lot of fastballs to hit.
And the 2-2. Lifted in the air toward left center field. That is Davis going back, still going back. It's going to carry out just about to the warning track. One gone. I would imagine we'll see the wind come into play here this afternoon as we check out the field conditions presented by Ace Hardware and the Scotts Company. It's only 55 at game time today. Cloudy, overcast. There is rain in the forecast for later this evening. And the wind is blowing. 1 on, 1 out for Jose Abreu. His big blow yesterday really set the tone for the game. The Tigers unable to recover after the grand slam home run. And he looks at one a little bit low, 1-0.
It's one of the things that I noticed about Abreu yesterday. He took the first pitch every single at bat.
Abreu batting .250 now, 3 home runs this year. Time called by Abreu as the wind was really kicking up at home plate. That'll be an issue today, or at least it is early on in this game. Here's the 1-0. Checked it, strike called.
Real good slider there thrown by Shane Green down and away to the very dangerous right-handed batter. Abreu, if you're going to throw that slider, this is exactly where you want it. You want to locate it down and away.
Rolled foul, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
So far, Green doing a very nice job at making sure that Eaton on first base has not been able to get a good jump. He used the slide step, and he takes about 1.1, 1.2 seconds before he gets the ball into James McCann's glove, which should give McCann plenty of time to throw Eaton out if he wants to try to steal a bag here in the first.
Eaton has stolen once this year. He's been caught once. Here's the 1-2. Abreu had a dynamite year last year, as you know, was the rookie of the year. He did tire a little bit in the month of September, but still overall his numbers were tremendous. Knocked in 107 last year for the White Sox.
And guys like Abreu, guys that like to extend their arms and guys that do a lot of damage when in that batter's box, you can't be afraid to go inside with 2 strikes with a good fastball if you do go in there.
Driven to right field on a line. Here comes J.D. Martinez to make the play, and Eaton's going to get doubled up.
What's Eaton looking at?
He was halfway down the line at second, thinking that ball might drop in, but not so, and the Tigers get a double play. Hitting over. Here come the Tigers at the bottom of the first.
right field, but it's right in front of him. And JD Martinez is right there, but yet Eaton simply takes off and takes 3 or 4 steps towards second base, and he gets doubled off.
Well, the Tigers will certainly take it. That ended the top of the first inning. Here come the Tigers now in the bottom of the first. Their starting lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers, and it features Rajai Davis leading it off, followed by Kinsler and Cabrera. Victor, the DH, JD Martinez, 5 home runs this year, tied for second in the majors. Cespedes in left, Castellanos, McCann, and Iglesias rounding it out, and they are facing the left-handed offerings of Jose Quintana.
And Quintana's got some outstanding stuff. He's won 1 game this year. He has not lost a game, but he's got a fastball that will get up to about 94, 95. He's got an outstanding curveball he likes to throw with 2 strikes. He's got a usable changeup. He'll also cut the fastball quite often this afternoon to the right-handed batters inside.
Here's Rajai Davis to start things off for Detroit. Davis looks at strike 1 right at the knees.
A little bit of a hesitation in the delivery of Jose Quintana.
The speed of Davis draws the infield end at the corners. Back up the middle. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Strike 2 called on Rajai. Davis has hit safely in his last 4 consecutive games. Couple of hits in this series. Now the 0-2. Up and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
2 strikes a lot of times. Quintana likes to get to his breaking ball. Tigers hitters are very much aware of that.
Now the 1-2. Off the end of the bat, look out. That got back into the seats in a hurry. Quintana, 26 years of age. He signed a long contract with the White Sox. A 5-year deal in March of 2014, so right before the start of last year. They saw enough to lock him up, and he is a part of a trio of starters that is very good for Chicago. Here's the 1-2 again. Low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Davis trying to get it started for the Tigers. Much as he did yesterday against Chris Sale, he doubled in the first inning and later scored a run. And that's in to run the count full now, 3-2.
So far, nice AB and turned in by Rajai Davis, who fell behind Quintana. No balls, 2 strikes, only to work the count back into his favor.
Two is hammered foul, back out of play. Each team with a victory in this series. Tigers came in 7-1 against the Central Division. That loss yesterday was the first loss within the division for the Tigers. And that was one of the main reasons why Jose Abreu had a huge day, including a grand slam. Davis chatters his bat, rolls into third base. Gobbled up by Gillespie, who throws him out.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense, brought to you by Tim Hortons. Excuse me, that would be the Chicago White Sox defense. In the outfield, they've got Cabrera, Eaton, and Garcia. Ramirez, Johnson up the middle. Gillespie, Abreu on the corners in the infield. Tyler Flowers had a nice day offensively yesterday. He's a catcher once again today.
So here is Kinsler, who's trying to break out of a little bit of a mini slump now. He had started the season red hot. He is 0 for 7 in this series. The average had .289. In there for strike 1 on Kinsler. And is lifted back out of play.
The fastball of Quintana, as we told you, will get all the way up to about 95, but he doesn't pitch at 95. He's right around 88 to 92, but he hides the baseball very well behind his body, and the hitters, they say that it looks like the ball's getting to you a lot faster than it really does because he does hide the baseball so well.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Ball high.
He keeps it behind that back leg until the last possible moment, and before he shows it to the hitter.
Kinsler waits on a 1-2. Here it is. Checked it. He did not go. Alan Porter down at first base said he held up.
And here's the delivery, and take a look at the left arm. You don't see it until the last possible moment when he gets up into that window before he delivers his pitch home.
Quintana had a really good ERA last year, 3.32. But for whatever reason, he doesn't get a lot of decisions. They just apparently don't score enough runs for him or lose some leads late for him.
Yeah, they do not score a lot of runs for him. He's been good against the Tigers in his last 6 starts against them. They don't do much against Quintana.
43 career no decision.
That's a lot.
You know, it was a couple of years ago, the 2013 season, he established an American League record with 17 no decisions in 1 year. That'll back him out of there. 3-2 now on Kinsler.
Already the second 3-ball count. And turned in by Quintana to the first 2 batters of the game.
Drilled toward left field. That's a base hit. Kinsler needed that. It snaps an 0 for 11. The Tigers have their first base runner.
It's a nice job here by Ian Kinsler, who gets that front foot set really early. And then he's able to jump on this 3-2 fastball that's right down the middle. Really nice swing by Ian.
Well, the Bernstein advantage brings you the pitcher-batter matchup, and it looks like Mr. Cabrera, who typically will have the advantage on most pitchers, he has it against Quintana, 400 career.
I told you that Quintana has overall good numbers against the Tigers as far as wins and losses and ERA is concerned, but they got about 4 or 5 guys in their lineup that really hit him well.
Well, Quintana last year was 2-1, but against Detroit, all of his starts against the Tigers were quality starts. Kinsler on with 1 out. Miggy drove in a run in the ball game yesterday in his first at bat in an epic at bat against Chris Sale. And that at bat, I think, got lost in what happened in the rest of the game because of the blowout win, but that was a tremendous matchup.
One of the best at bats you'll see, especially against a guy that is as talented as Chris Sale, and Sale was throwing awfully hard yesterday in the first inning. He was 97, 98.
Here's the 0-1. Cabrera pops this one up and headed back to the seats. And it'll get back out of play.
If you're Ian Kinsler, you now know with 2 strikes, Quintana loves to go to the curveball. So if he does throw Miggy a curveball and he bounces it, you need to be ready to advance 90 feet, get yourself down in a scoring position.
Tyler Flowers back behind the plate here this afternoon for Chicago.
He has not had a good year so far this year throwing the baseball. Flowers. The opposition is 8 of 8 of steals when he's behind the dish.
Oh, they almost had him. Kinsler leaning, but Quintana's throw just took forever to get there. Abreu's sweep tag a little bit tardy. 0-2 on Miguel. Just off the plate outside. Quintana tried to thread the needle on the outside corner, but just barely missed. Miggy has 19 hits coming into play today. That is tops in the American League, and that's why he is batting .442. Again, Quintana stays away, and again he misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cabrera also leads the American League in on-base percentage. There's Victor waiting on deck. It's already been a lengthy inning for Jose Quintana. Another throw back. Tigers coming into play today at 9-2, still atop the American League Central Division. Swing and a miss. Cabrera down on strikes, 2 gone. First strikeout of the day for Quintana.
All 5 of the pitches that Miguel saw in this at bat from Quintana were fastballs, the last of which was up above the belt buckle, and that Miggy swung right through at 90 miles an hour.
So here is Martinez, who career hits well over 300 against both Quintana and the White Sox. 389 against Quintana.
White Sox had a lot of interest in Victor Martinez when he hit the free agent market last year, but Victor really only wanted to play for the Tigers, and he really did not open up negotiations with any other teams.
And when you think it through, why not? I mean, he's had a lot of success here. He plays in front of a lot of fans every night. He's got a really good ball club, really good lineup, a lot of good friends on this team.
Really comfortable here in Detroit.
That comfort factor seems to be really big for a lot of guys, especially when they get later in their careers. And Victor's had some big contracts, so that really didn't factor a whole lot into it. It's a ball up high. 2 balls, no strikes.
He has been outstanding in the Tigers uniform, for the most part batting 4th behind Miguel Cabrera.
.320 career with the Tigers. Victor yesterday was 0 for 3 in the opener. Here's Quintana's 2-0, and it's in there. A strike as Martinez thought it might have been a skosh high, but not so.
Quintana throwing a lot of fastballs here in the very first inning. Not many breaking balls, not many changeups.
JD Martinez lurking on deck. No score in the first. Tigers have gotten a single from Ian Kinsler. It's fouled back. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Of the total 24 pitches that Quintana has thrown, he's about 92% with his fastball so far today. That will change.
Shane Green was able to get a double play to get out of the first inning after walking the leadoff man. Now the 2-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Victor Martinez. So 25 pitches into this game. The ratio not all that good early on here for Quintana. .14 strikes, 11 have missed the strike zone out of the 25. Runner will go on 3-2. Kinsler on the move, and it's popped up foul back into the seats. Well, Victor, as we know, not 100%. He is still bothered by some soreness at the top of his knee. The good news is, as the way it's been explained, it is not the area that has been surgically repaired. It's the top of his knee that he kind of tweaked in one of the games in Pittsburgh where he pinch hit. So he'll continue to try and play through it. It bothers him more batting left-handed than right-handed. Grounded foul. But as we've come to find out the last couple of years, Rod, a not 100% Victor is better than a lot of guys that are 100%.
And the one thing that Brad needs to make sure of is the fact that if he feels like Victor needs a couple days off, don't be afraid to give it to him, especially April when it's still a little chilly outside, because in the grand scheme of things, they want to make sure he's healthy in the months of May and June and July.
Well, he's been a great 2-strike hitter, .337.
told me last year that he actually preferred batting with 2 strikes opposed to a hit in the count, because when he's ahead in the count, he said he tried to do too much, but with 2 strikes he simply had a really nice approach of thinking about the center of the diamond.
Drilled toward left center field, and that ball is down, a base hit. Eaton comes over to play it. Kinsler will get the 3rd, and the Tigers have him at the corners now. 1st and 3rd with 2 outs.
It's a solid at bat by Victor, who got himself a 4-seam fastball that leaped right over the inside part of the plate, pulled his hands in nicely, and was able to get Ian Kinsler all the way over to 3rd base before Eaton, the center fielder, got the ball in.
So the Tigers threatening now against a White Sox staff that by and large has done some good work recently. They've given up just 10 earned runs in over 50 innings. And in that stretch an ERA which is sub 2, but they are threatening here in the 1st. JD Martinez will stand in. And he looks at strike 1 right at the knees. Little look back there for Martinez for home plate umpire Brian Onora. JD at 255. He is 2nd in the American League in home runs. Ooh, he left the strike zone there, 0-2. 92 on the gun, up with the letters. Here's the 0-2. That time he laid off. Quintana went right back up there. Now he's at 31 pitches. There is Cespedes waiting on deck. Here's the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Quintana at the top of the rotation for the White Sox. That includes Chris Sale, Jeff Samardzija. They both pitched well in this series. Samardzija in game 1, Sale yesterday. And he missed outside, so again another 3-ball count. It's full at 3-2.
On 4 of the first 5 hitters in the game, Quintana has gone to a 3-ball count.
That is a recipe for you not to stick around very long.
That's right.
This means that Martinez will be on the move at first base. And he lost it, ball 4. That is going to load the bases. You have to get a visit to the mound here. See, Quintana averages about 18.7 pitches per inning. He's at 34 right now, and the catcher Flowers goes out to give him a breather.
And somehow, some way, Tigers need to make Quintana pay here in the very first inning. They've got to score at least 1 run.
Bases loaded, 2 outs for Yoenis Cespedes, who bats .283. Yoenis has a home run in this series. And he takes a strike, 0-1. He homered off Samardzija in game 1. And now we've got him loaded here with Kinsler, Martinez, and Martinez. Here's the 0-1. A little bit high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, Cespedes does his best work in these situations. .480 career with the bases loaded. 2 for 2 this year. Here's the 1-1. Checked it inside. Did he go? Did not. 2-1. Quintana now stepping off, takes a breath. Castellanos waiting on deck. Two singles and a walk have loaded the bases here. Driven down the right field line, foul. 2-2 on Cespedes. He's been a pretty good extra base bat this year for the Tigers. 6 of his 13 hits have gone for extra bases. Looks like some rain starting to fall now here at the ballpark.
Yeah, fans start to scatter a little bit.
What's supposed to rain till later this evening or later this afternoon? And it's inside to run the count full now at 3-2. And this next pitch will be the 40th of the inning for Quintana. With the rain falling here at Comerica. Tigers get the benefit of starting the runners here. There they go. Swinging a drive into left field. Ball is hit well. That ball is up and it's gone. It's a grand slam for Yoenis Cespedes. A line drive over the wall and left, and the Tigers lead 4-0. We told you he mashes with the bases loaded.
A lot of patient at bats by all the Tigers that have come to the dish in this inning. And there's a fastball, 3-2, that's right down the middle. And Yoenis Cespedes hits his second home run as a Tiger. He homered a couple of days ago.
Quintana is stung with a grand slam here in the first.
And that's something that Quintana usually does not give up. He doesn't give up a lot of gopher balls. He only gave up 11 home runs last year in over 200 innings.
Well, he was stung with a big one here today.
If you're going to hit it out to left, you got to hit it on the line, just as Cespedes did there. Anything up in the air, and with the way that the wind has been blowing in early in this game, the wind's going to knock it down, but couldn't knock that line drive down.
Now his 40th pitch of the afternoon sailed over the wall and left. Castellanos pops it up. Let's see who takes this one. All of the infielders converging. Who wants it? It's Abreu. And that will end the inning, not before the Tigers strike first. Yoenis Cespedes. Grand slam home run. 4-0 Detroit. Well, a big start for the Tigers. A 4-0 lead on a grand slam home run by Yoenis Cespedes, and that has given Shane Green something to work with now. Here's a strike call on the leadoff hitter Adam LaRoche. They've got the shift on for LaRoche. He'll be followed by Garcia, then Gillespie. Four runs on 3 hits for Detroit. Trying to win this series here against the White Sox. There's Cespedes, responsible for the 4 Tigers runs. Soft line drive to left, base hit. So LaRoche goes the other way. And the leadoff man aboard. That's the first hit of the afternoon now for Chicago. Here is Avi Garcia. Green gave up a walk, but no damage in that first inning.
Here's where Shane Green's at his best. A runner on first base, less than 2 outs, getting ground balls. That good sinker ball.
That's a tapped foul, third base side.
He's got a lot of late life to that sinker, especially when it's in the 89 to 91 mile-per-hour range.
Garcia with a home run in the series. He shoots that one on the ground, foul again, third base side. No balls, 2 strikes on the former Tiger. Garcia in the ball game today batting 5th. They moved LaRoche up to cleanup in the lineup. Garcia missed much of last year after diving for a ball in right field, tearing his labrum. And Avi said before this season started, I'm not going to dive a whole lot this year unless we get maybe to the postseason where it becomes real important. You won't see me stretching out.
Avi, no diving this year, huh?
That's what he says. That's fouled away, and I guess sometimes the instincts might kick in. He might dive a time or 2. But,
right.
You know, guys his size, Ron. I mean, you look at players his size. He's a big boy, and start throwing that body around, bad things can happen.
Especially when you dive, you know, head first in the outfield. That's why you see so many guys sliding feet first when they're leaving their feet trying to make plays in the outfield. He's got to make a better 0-2 pitch than he just did. He hung a breaking ball to Garcia.
Off the end of the bat, right to the first baseman. Cabrera tags the bag 1. Tag play at second for a double play.
Real nice footwork by the big fella, Miguel Cabrera, over at first base. And then once he tags the bag to get the force out on Garcia, simply flips the ball over LaRoche's head to Iglesias to finish the double play.
So with 2 outs, that'll bring up Gillespie. Cabrera doing a good job of avoiding the runner with that throw. Gillespie at 261. Drops down a bunt. Foul, though. With a shift on that they have against him, he tried to lay one down the third base line for a sure base hit. One out of 5 of the series for Gillespie with an RBI. Here's the 0-1. Gillespie started off really well last year, had some good numbers, but really faded down the stretch in August and September, which kind of leveled his numbers out. And he said one of his main issues or wants this year was to get stronger, add some weight, which is what he did in the offseason. He's going to roll that one to first base, and that's going to be an easy inning for Shane Green, courtesy of a double play. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. It's brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. When it's time, come to Comerica. Dodge, come in for a high-powered deal during the Dodge Awards season event. And by Spartan Stores. For locations, visit turntospartan.com. A cloudy, overcast day here at the ballpark and in downtown today. The Tigers out to a nice 4-0 lead and a grand slam home run off the bat of Yoenis Cespedes. Quintana back to work after a long first inning in which he threw 42 pitches. James McCann leading it off. He is 0 for his last 13 is McCann. And he grounds that one foul. No balls, 2 strikes.
Talking to James this morning in the clubhouse, and he said he felt like that he was drifting with his body toward the pitcher. And that's been slowing his bat speed down. So today he's working on keeping that head still as possible and not gliding toward the pitcher, which would give him much better bat speed, and also recognizing pitches a little bit better. It's a perfect example of it right there. It's nice recognition there by McCann. When you take a pitch, that's exactly the look that you want.
Well, he had base hits in each of his first 2 at-bats this year. He'll line this one to right center field. That'll get down. Appears to be extra bases all the way to the wall. McCann going hard to second base, takes the turn. He's going to try for 3. And McCann is in there standing up. He took a peek out to right center field and turned down the jets.
Take a look at the previous pitch before the triple and the take. How quiet he is with the head. He's seeing the ball very nicely. And then Quintana throws the 2-strike pitch. The fastball down the middle. He stays right with it. Pulls his hands closely inside the body, and it goes to right center field. He had a little difficult time of making the play out there, which allowed him to get his first career triple.
Infield coming in now for Chicago. And Iglesias trying to drive in another run.
That's a really nice approach by McCann.
It snaps an 0 for 13 for James. Iglesias slices one at first and is caught there by Abreu. Runner holding at third, 1 gone. Iglesias tried to line one to right field, almost got it by him.
Well, all you can do is hit it hard. He did just that right at Abreu.
So with 1 out, top of the order now, it's Rajay Davis. Grounded out his first time. Ground ball back up the middle. That'll get the job done. Against the drawn-in infield, that's an RBI single. 5-0 Tigers.
That's the second time that Rajay Davis has broken his bat already here today. But that bat there, it died a hero.
3rd RBI of the year for Davis.
Infield in. Nothing they can do.
That'll bring up Ian Kinsler.
Ian Kinsler also had an 0 for 11 stretch before he got a base hit his last time up.
A couple of long droughts have been broken here today, Kinsler and McCann. So Quintana now is at 50. You can see that his ratio has not been all that good. 29 against 21. Chase Davis back. Rajay a perfect 3 for 3 this year in stolen base attempts. Runner goes. Lifted back out of play.
And we told you that Quintana has pitched very well against the Tigers in the last couple of years. As a matter of fact, the 5 earned runs that he's already given up here today, the most that he's given up in any start this year, against the Tigers in his career.
Quintana last year 2-1 against Detroit, but an ERA of 3.60.
Rajay had a pretty good jump on that last delivery by Quintana.
1-2.
That's one thing about Rajay. It really doesn't matter whether the pitcher has a slide step or whether he's quick getting the ball to home plate or not. He is not afraid to attempt to steal a bag.
None of that really factors into his decision-making process.
He is not afraid.
Tigers have done a good job of stealing bags this year. They've been among the best in the American League, which typically has not been the case.
There's been a lot of things that have gone right for the Tigers the first 2 weeks of the season.
Here's a throw down to second. Davis going to be out. So they picked him. And the bases are empty now.
And Quintana, like a lot of left-handers these days, he utilizes like a slide step toward first base. A lot of times as a base runner, when you see a pitcher with a slide step, you're thinking automatically that they're going home. But there's a lot of left-handed pitchers nowadays that are using that slide step over to first bases too.
So with 2 outs now, 1-2 on Kinsler. And he grounds it foul down the third base line. Tigers in a stretch of 22 of 26 against the Central Division. I mentioned they've won 7 of 8 so far against the Central this year. A little bit outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Kinsler. There is Cabrera waiting on deck should Kinsler reach. And the 2-2. Rolled foul again. Tigers wrap up this series here against Chicago. Yanks coming in for 4. Next 4 nights they'll be at Comerica Park. Nice long homestand here as the month of April begins to wind down.
10-game homestand. Still quite a few games left.
Here's the 2-2. High, 3-2.
Tigers doing a nice job of laying off the elevated fastball that Quintana's been throwing to them today. He's had a lot of 3-ball counts already today.
That really was a part of his undoing in that first inning in which he threw 42 pitches and he fell behind Cespedes. 3-2. Cespedes got him for the grand slam. Another 3-2 count this time on Kinsler. Fly ball center field. Adam Eaton started back. Now he comes in. That'll retire the side. Tigers get another run. You're watching Tigers baseball today, presented by Bell Tire. Top of third. Here's our T-Mobile game changer this afternoon. Want to look at some pitchers. The highest strike percentage, a minimum of 2 games this year. Danny Duffy about almost 73%. Likewise, Shane Green. He's just a strike machine.
Yeah, defenses love to work behind guys that throw a lot of strikes.
First one is in there for a strike. 0-1 on Alexi Ramirez. Bottom 3 now for the White Sox. Ramirez, Flowers, and Micah Johnson. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Here comes Kinsler with the backhand. And Ramirez is out. One gone. Well, let's see. Shane Green now is third behind Victor Santos and Doug Bear for consecutive innings without allowing an earned run to begin a season. That's since 1974. 18 and a third innings. He's just passed Bob Sykes. Doug Bear next. Strike one. Tyler Flowers, the batter. 5-game hit streak for Flowers, who's gotten off to a nice start again this year, much like he did last year. Flowers last year hit .354 in the month of April. Here's the 1-1. 1-2.
Yeah, nice swing back fastball at 92 miles an hour. He started that ball outside. It got quite a bit of play.
Two on Flowers. 7 for his last 18 at bats. Tigers got 4 in the first, 1 in the second. They lead 5-0. Cespedes grand slam home run in this game. Fouled away. Tigers so far doing a really nice job of putting yesterday's game behind them, which is something you would expect out of a veteran team like this.
That's right.
Gave up 17 hits in yesterday's game. Of course, the grand slam by Cespedes will help. 2-2 is outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
They weren't going to do much against Chris Sale, the starter of the White Sox, yesterday anyway. He was on one. He was 97, 98 with the majority of the fastballs he threw the first 3 innings. That's the first time I'd ever seen Chris Sale like that.
3-2. Popped up. First base side. Cabrera, Kinsler. It's Kinsler making the call. And there are 2 gone. Let's head back to the studio now for a game break. Matt Shepard. All right, Shep, thanks. Yeah, the magic 500 record. Once you get to 500, you can start to move forward from there. Tigers, of course, have been way above 500 this year.
And there's a pretty good bet they're going to stay there.
Johnson slaps one to left. Base hit. Right in front of Cespedes.
Cespedes barehanded that ball.
I saw that. Hey, by the way, stay tuned to Tigers Live following the game when we will select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game, presented by the 2 for $5 classic quarter pounder with cheese.
Check out Jonas. Go ahead on in with your bad self.
Style points.
Ball had some English on it. Those big old mitts.
Here's Adam Eaton.
Hit grand slams. You can do whatever you want to do.
A little more leeway there.
Right.
Eaton had a base on balls in the first inning, did not score.
They've got Adam Eaton really shaded toward the left field. Rajay Davis is way over as well and shallow, as is Cespedes in left field. Here's a look at both guys and how shallow they're playing.
Green ready with the 1-1. Straighten him up. 2 balls, 1 strike on Eaton. So 40 now for Shane Green. 26 of which have been strikes. Down the left field line, Cespedes on the move. Back into the seats it goes, a couple of rows deep. Eaton's had some success recently against the Tigers. He came in over 400 in his last 11 games versus Detroit. But not really much of a factor so far in this series. That guy's been a factor, Melky Cabrera. A 4-hit game yesterday. Green quickly back to first base, chasing Micah Johnson. We mentioned yesterday Johnson was a prolific base stealer in the minor leagues. A couple of years ago he swiped 83 bags. Had 22 last year in the minors. And another toss. Runner goes. Ball high. Throw down to second is also high. And Johnson has his first steal of the year. He'll put himself in a scoring position. First of his career as well.
He gets a pretty good jump, which means McCann, even though he has a very strong throwing arm, had no chance at throwing Johnson out.
Full count now on Eaton. Bouncer back up the middle. Kinsler with the backhand. And he got eaten by a step. No runs. They get a hit. A stolen base. Nothing comes of the steal from Micah Johnson.
Get Miguel Cabrera and Jose Abreu, a couple of prolific sluggers, guys that hit 300, but also have a lot of power, a lot of similar traits as far as their stances are concerned. Both big body guys, both use their legs very well, Both guys pull their hands very close to their body when driving the ball the opposite way or even in the left center field. These guys almost look identical when standing in the batter's box. Miggy's driven 100 runs 11 consecutive years. And Cespedes, he drove in 100 last year.
And so Cabrera starts it off here in the third. Cabrera, then Victor Martinez and J.D. Martinez.
That's the one thing that big power hitters have in common, especially guys that are as talented as Miggy and Brayu. When they get that bat into the hitting zone, it's usually right out in front of home plate.
Quintana struck him out of the first inning.
Yeah, Miggy left the strike zone on the fastball up in the first.
Now the 1-1. And the appeal down at first, he went around.
It's a good call there by Alan Porter.
It still kills me, though, that Miguel calls for the appeal even before the home plate umpire makes the call.
Yeah, he did.
That one didn't turn out in his favor because of the appeal. 2-2. Victor waiting on deck. Tigers jumped on Quintana with a 4-run first, one more in the second. They lead 5-0. The 2-2. Way high, 3-2. Mentioned the Tigers are 7-1 against the Central Division, and yes, it is only April, but it really doesn't matter when you beat teams within your division, whether it's April or June or September. You've got to beat those teams. They've gotten off to a great start against their division. Popped up. Abreu drifting in foul ground. Johnson coming over, but it's Abreu. So Miggy's 0 for 2. One away here in the third. We'll bring up Victor Martinez. Single, run scored in the first inning. He scored on the grand slam by Cespedes. That's it for a strike.
And Victor had a really good at bat back in the first inning on a lousy single. J.D. Martinez was patient. He walked. That loaded the bases. And then Cespedes, he played a long ball.
I thought you made a really good point on the Cespedes grand slam. If he gets some loft under that ball, it may not go out. You need to hit it on a line today.
J.D. Martinez hit a ball yesterday, his last at-bat of the game. And for me, it was the loudest sound that we had heard yesterday, and it was simply knocked down at the warning track.
And J.D. had a look on his face like, I really can't hit one harder than that. Didn't even get to the wall.
Yeah, the one thing that Quintana has not done a whole lot of here today, he really hasn't used all of his pitches. Very few curveballs. He's thrown a lot of fastballs, and he's missed with most of those. Ratio not really good today.
2-1 is in there for a strike. 2-2.
There's that bender at 75 miles an hour and a beauty. This thing just dropped straight off the table.
Martinez in the air to shallow left field. Here comes Eaton on. He's going to play it on one hop in front of Cabrera. It's a bloop single.
Well, sometimes you've got to be better lucky than good.
Fans, don't forget, time is running out from now until midnight. Get upper box tickets for just $24 to see the Tigers play the Yankees tomorrow through Thursday. Offer available exclusively at Tigers.com/diamond deals. Enter the coupon code DIAMOND.
The Yankees coming to town without Derek Jeter for the first time in the last 2 decades.
It's going to be strange, isn't it? No Jeter, no Rivera. The core four, as they called them in New York. Moving on now. Here's J.D. Rifle that one foul. Yankees still do have Alex Rodriguez.
Yes, they do.
And he will be in town.
Tigers will see CC Sabathia on Monday.
CC off to a slow start. CRA is about 5.5, 0-2. Here's the 0-1. Fly ball right field. Ball hit well, but Garcia is going to have room, edge of the warning track. Victor retreats. 2 gone.
Take a peek at our Nissan Drive with a game going to Cespedes. He got himself a fastball with 2 strikes that was right down the middle with the bases loaded and put the Tigers on the board first back in the first inning.
Second home run of the year for Cespedes, both of them in this series. His RBI total jumps to 8 on the young season. Strike 1 on Yoenis. Average back up to 298. Here's the 0-1. Swinging a drive and a deep left. He has done it again. Cespedes goes way back into the seats and gone.
Cespedes, did you?
Halfway up the bleachers and left. His second home run of the day.
Third home run of the series.
Rod, he ain't kidding around on that one.
Oh, he's got his big boy pants on today, buddy.
Oh my goodness.
And we told you that Quintana is one that really doesn't give up a lot of home runs, but Yoenis Cespedes has busted him twice already here today. It's a beautiful thing when you hit them and you know they're gone.
It is a 6 RBI day for Cespedes, and both of his home runs coming with 2 outs. 7-0 Detroit. Strike 1 on Castellanos. Miggy knows all about home runs.
And Miggy telling Cespedes, okay, I thought I was the man, but you're the man.
Miggy taking a back seat today.
Yeah, you're the man.
Swing and a miss. 0-2.
Well, it was the White Sox that were playing long ball yesterday. Today it's Cespedes.
That is a career high, the 6 RBIs for Cespedes. Bouncing in. There's still some chatter going on between Cabrera and Yoenis.
They're having some fun. Look at Shane Green down there. Keep them coming, boys.
Exactly.
Yeah, keep them coming, boys.
You could never have enough. Green's got his hoodie on. He's got a 7-0 lead. It's a slow roller towards second. Johnson will throw him out. However, the Tigers get 2 more. Cespedes having a heck of a day, a grand day. A slam in the first, and now he's hit another home run, a 2-run shot here in the third. 2-run shot, have a 7-0 cushion here as we go to the 4th inning, and back to work is Shane Green, the benefactor of all of these runs today. Melky Cabrera, Jose Abreu, and Adam LaRoche, 2, 3, and 4 for the White Sox. It's in the air to shallow center field, and it's going to drop. Base hit. And Melky Cabrera continues to swing it. 4 hits yesterday, another one today. Here's Abreu. Abreu hit a ball into right field his first time up, and it turned into a double play because Eaton was doubled off the bag at first. And he sends a ground ball to third. Castellanos to second one. Relay in plenty of time.
Second double play that has been turned in today by the Tigers infielders. Miggy started one a couple of innings ago, and that one started by Castellanos. Pitcher's best friend.
That'll empty up the bases now. 2 gone. That brings up LaRoche, who's facing that shift again. Strike called. Single for LaRoche in the second, but was erased on a double play. If you count the one that Abreu lined into in the first inning, the Tigers have turned 3 of them in this game. Green working quickly, the 0-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. See you later. White Sox are done here in the 4th. No runs and a hit. They leave none. We go to the bottom of the 4th in Comerica. Lowest tire price period. Bell Tire. Myers, save big with M-Perks from Myers. Sign up at mperks.com. And by Chevrolet, find new roads. Tigers off to a sizzling start in this one here this afternoon. With a nice crowd at Comerica Park, wrapping up this 3-game series against Chicago. Tigers a couple of home runs from Yoenis Cespedes. They lead 7-0 as James McCann leads it off.
And Quintana has not been very sharp today through the first 3 innings. The Tigers have tacked 7 runs on him. He's also had 7 3-ball counts already, the Tigers hitters.
McCann had a triple to the gap in right center field up Triple's alley out there.
Great at bat by James McCann.
Snapping an 0 for 13. Now we'll see if he can make it 2 for 2 in this game.
Well, he's got himself in a really nice, friendly fastball count. And should Quintana decide to challenge him here.
Can showed some power last year at AAA, hit 7 home runs, knocked in 54. Here's the 2-0. He'll drive this one well into center field. He's on the run, still going back, reaches to make the catch.
Oh, what a play by Adam Eaton.
Goodness. That was a great play.
Well, he got a 2-0 fastball and did McCann, and he jumped all over it, only to watch Adam Eaton get there and leave his feet to make a nice play to take possibly his second triple away.
That's what I was thinking. That ball gets over his head. He's got a shot at another 3-bagger. Crushed that one, but nothing to show for it for McCann. That's the cruel part of the game of baseball.
Already the work that McCann was putting in early on Sunday morning down in the batting cage has paid off in this game.
Ball 1 to Iglesias. Came in as the league's leading hitter at .457. He was second in on-base percentage.
Swinging a lot of strikes these days is Iglesias.
And his name is among most of the categories. Also first in steals, third in runners in scoring position average. So up and down the stat board, he's been off to a nice start. Not to mention playing that typical Iglesias defense that he does.
In 2013, he had 35 infield singles, which led the American League. He already has 4 infield hits this year.
That's why I think, Rod, when you start to look at what he could give you in terms of once his average levels out, 280 is probably certainly doable. 270 in that area because of all the infield hits that he gets. He's going to pull that one fair. That one goes to the outfield. Iglesias on his way to second base with a double.
He's off to a terrific start in 2015. 280 is great. I think he can do a little bit better than that, especially if he bunts. I mean, he gets a lot of infield singles if he starts to bunt. When he gets himself into trouble, look how he catches that fastball, that cutter at 89 out in front, and whistles it right past the diving Gillespie.
That is the second hard hit ball that he's had in this game. There's Rajai Davis, who singled in a run against a drawn-in infield back in the second.
Yeah, Rajai does his best work in these situations. Runners aboard.
Fly ball right center field. Garcia lines it up. 2 gone. Tigers already with 8 hits and a 7-0 lead in this game. There's Kinsler. These are the top 2 teams with men in scoring position early on this season. Tigers were second behind Chicago. They've added to their totals today. Kinsler is 1 for 2. Chicago now with some action in there, and Matt Albert is warming up. As Quintana's pitch count continues to elevate. It'll bounce in. 2-0 the count on Ian Kinsler. Flowers out to the mound now. They have a chat with Quintana, whose day got off to a rough start thanks to a 42-pitch first inning. Really has never been able to recover. Gave up 1 more in the second, then another home run to Cespedes in the third. It was Robin Ventura's team that was pounding the baseball all over the lot yesterday. Today's the Tigers. Popped up, middle of the infield. Johnson to the grass. That'll end the inning. No runs, a double, 1 man left.
double plays already today. Jose Abreu is hitting the 2 of those. And then Miguel started that one 3-6-3 variety. Then Castellanos started one last half inning. So Shane Green doing what Shane Green does best. That's the 11th double play the Tigers have turned this year as a squad.
Well, only one strikeout in this ball game for Shane Green, but he hasn't really needed too many with the double plays he's got.
Really love the efficiency that he is working with. He wants contact on the first 3 pitches, and he's doing a marvelous job of that.
A 6-pitch 4th inning for Green, back out here in the 5th, and a swing and a miss. Avi Garcia leads it off, then Connor Gillespie and Alexei Ramirez. Garcia knocked into one of those double plays. That was back in the 2nd. Shoot that one foul, back out of play, 0-2.
And then back-to-back breaking balls to Garcia at different speeds. Yeah, the second one was a little bit slower than strike 1.
Two is high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Green a couple of years ago was the Yankees minor league pitcher of the year. That was in 2013 when he won 12 games. Got to the major leagues last year. University of West Florida and Daytona State College, the 2 collegiate spots for Shane Green. Here's the 1-2. Bender, down he goes. Back-to-back strikeouts now for Green. 1 gone here in the 5th.
Outstanding job of pitching to Garcia. He got him out with 3 breaking balls and 3 different speeds. That last one, 78 miles an hour, really had him fooled and out in front.
So Shane continues to throw his zeros up there as Connor Gillespie stands in now against a shift.
Shane Green 11 of 15 in first pitch strikes, which is really nice. A recipe for success. How good is this cat, man? I mean, seriously.
It's been surprising. I mean, I think we knew he would be pretty good. But to get off to the start that he's gotten off to, the pace at which he works.
Because he kind of struggled in spring training.
He did. And again, I mean, how many times have we mentioned he's a strike thrower? And here's more proof. Gets back to what Brad Ausmus says, and a lot of managers say about numbers in spring training. They mean little, if anything. Here's the 0-2. Bouncing ball. This one right into the shift to the outfield grass. Castellanos throws him out. That is a 5-3 ground out. 2 outs, and just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. We're moving on up. As we check out the list, Shane Green now is 2nd. Most consecutive innings without an earned run to begin a season. He is past Doug Bear. Victor Santos is in his sights. Strike call. Ramirez grounded out back in the 3rd. When you face guys like this, Rod, what did you try and do offensively?
Well, I was going to try to hit the first pitch. I mean, if he's throwing first pitch strikes as efficiently as Green has done, not only today, but his other 2 starts, I'm looking for that first pitch fastball. And if I get it anywhere in the strike zone, I'm going to get a pretty good swing at it, because if you don't hit it, he has demonstrated the ability to throw that slider, as he just did there to Alexei, out of the strike zone. So I'm going to hit that first pitch.
And Alexei now is behind in the count, 1-2. Just got a piece of that one to stay alive.
That is a 93-mile-per-hour sinker with a lot of late life on it. A lot of movement.
Two out, nobody on. We're in the 5th inning. 7-0 Detroit. On the strength of a pair of home runs from Yoenis Cespedes, one of them a grand slam. The 1-2. McCann blocks it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tyler Flowers waiting on deck. And that time Alexei laid off one more time, and the count goes 3-2. Green's first start was a marvelous start against Minnesota. 8 innings, 1 run, 0 earned. He struck out 5 for the win. And he lost it, ball 4. So Ramirez gets a 2-out walk. It'll be the second of the game now for Shane. He walked the leadoff man in the ball game, Adam Eaton. Here's Flowers. Bouncing ball left side. Iglesias, quick throw. Got him at first base. Nice play by Jose. No runs, a walk. And one man left. Iglesias flashing some leather here today. You're watching Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. In the bottom of the 5th inning, and Miguel Cabrera is going to lead it off for Detroit. And here's a little comparison. This time last year, and that's compared to what he's done this season.
Yeah, Miggy last April, he was rolling over a lot of balls to the shortstop, the third baseman, very early in the season. But he quickly righted the ship.
So Quintana's out there. He's thrown 88 so far in this game. Goes to work in the 5th, facing the middle of the Tigers lineup. Cabrera, Victor Martinez, J.D. Martinez. In there for a strike, 0-1. Miguel today is 0-2, strikeout, pop-up. The Tigers trying to push their record to 10-2 to start the year. And they're looking pretty good right now. Cabrera lays off, 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. In the air toward left field. Cabrera turning around. It's off the wall. Miggy's on his way to second, and he will pull in with a double. First hit today for Miguel, 5th double of the year already.
And Quintana not fooling many today. It's a straight changeup at 83 miles an hour that he left up in the strike zone that Miggy was able to get out in front of and nearly hit it out.
Hit one Friday off the wall in left field, just about the same spot. Tigers already now with 9 hits on the board. There's Victor Martinez. A couple of base hits for Victor in this game. Victor has come around and scored twice on Cespedes home runs. Average up to 286. Down the right field line, slicing away from Garcia, and it's a fair ball. Cabrera's on his way to third. And Miggy's going to come around on a 2-base hit. Three for 3 for Victor Martinez. And I think that Robin Ventura has seen enough. Or is he coming out looking for a challenge? Robin on the top step of the dugout. Home plate umpire Brian O'Nora staring in to see what they want to do here. And so Ventura is just going to make his way out to the mound. That's going to be it. Rough day for Jose Quintana. Tigers put up 10 hits and they knock him out here in the 5th inning. On back-to-back doubles, Quintana is done. It's a wall side windows pitching change. White Sox go to the bullpen. The 5th back-to-back doubles by Cabrera and Victor Martinez, knocking Quintana out of this ball game.
It's a nice job here by Victor. Even though the Tigers have a 7-run lead with a runner on second base, nobody out, he was simply trying to hit it the opposite way, which he did, and he was able to drive in Miguel. Victor also 3 hits today. That's very close down that right field line.
Close enough to where Robin Ventura was waiting to see if they wanted to challenge, and then when they decided not to, they just simply took Quintana out of the game. And replacing him is Matt Albers.
And Matt Albers only pitched in 8 games last year for the Houston Astros. He had some right shoulder inflammation that really kept him out of action all year.
And he delivers a strike to J.D. Martinez.
Signed a minor league deal with the Chicago White Sox in February with an invite to spring training.
Albers began his career with Houston.
When he's right, he throws a lot of ground balls.
Came out and had a pretty good year last year, 2 years ago, I should say, with Cleveland. Pitching out of their bullpen. Cespedes waiting on deck. He's had the big bat today. Grounded foul. 8 runs on 10 Tigers hits in this game. White Sox no runs, 3 hits. Five of the Tigers' 10 hits are for extra bases here this afternoon, including a triple by James McCann, the catcher. Tapper toward third. Gillespie cuts it off. J.D. out by a step, 1 gone. Martinez holds up at second base. A nice round of applause for Yoenis.
I think Tigers fans are really liking their new left field.
You know, we talked about this before, Rod, but when the A's traded him last year to Boston and they got John Lester, everybody thought, all right, you know, they needed an ace. But boy, did it change just the complexion of their lineup.
It sure did.
It changed the vibe, I think, in the locker room, the presence he had in their lineup, and they struggled. And Oakland was the best team in baseball for a while. Then they made that trade, and all of a sudden it went south.
Yeah, they barely got into the dance last year.
Grand slam and a 2-run shot for Cespedes.
He's a free agent after this year is over, so he's playing for a new contract.
Well, his average up to 313 now, 10 RBIs.
A lot of outstanding Cuban-born players emerging as stars in the major leagues these days. Abreu, their first baseman, would fall into that category. Yasiel Puig in Los Angeles. We've got Cespedes and Iglesias, Cuban-born.
Would you say that Cespedes came out of Cuba with maybe more hype than most other Cuban players?
I do. Only because he had that video.
That's right.
Before he got here, you know, and he was doing all kinds of stuff. He's strong, though. Tigers have always loved Cespedes.
3-0 pitch. He'll sling one in there for a strike, 3-1.
As a matter of fact, when he was a free agent before he signed with Oakland 4 years ago, Dave Dombrowski went down to Dominican Republic to watch Cespedes in a workout along with Al Avila, all their scouts. Willie Horton went down there.
To center field, Eaton is on the run. Track it down.
And to a man, they all said that the workout that he put on for them was one of the most impressive workouts they'd ever seen.
2 gone after the Martinez double. It's going to bring up Castellanos. Nick is 0 for 2, ground out, pop up.
Nick's got a little mini hitting streak going, 6 games. Got off to a slow start, but in the last 6 games, he's been pretty good.
Nick started the year 3 for 18, has had 8 hits since in the 6 games. In the air and hit well to right field. That ball is tattooed up against the wall. That'll get another run in. Castellanos thinking 3. He's going to hold up though. Double and an RBI for Castellanos in a 7-game hitting streak.
Another extra base hit for the Tigers today. That's their 6th extra base hit. And something that they have started to do very well in the first 11 games of the year with 2 outs. They've been driving in a lot of runs.
Well, the 2 homers by Cespedes, both coming with 2 outs. Nine 0 Detroit. Roles have been reversed today from yesterday. McCann looks at a strike. Three-bagger and a ball that looked like was going to go to the wall his last at bat that Eaton made a great running catch on.
That is now a 7-game hitting streak for Nick Castellanos.
Checked it inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And there is just no let up in this Tigers offense. Really no let up at all.
JD's got that notebook going.
Going to school even on Sunday morning.
Fly ball left field. That'll be playable for Melky Cabrera, and that'll end the inning. Tigers with 3 doubles here in the 5th. Really, rather, 2 guys to talk about today, Cespedes and Green.
Well, Green's gotten it done. A lot of first pitch strikes. He's really been pounding the strike zone. The White Sox have been able to do very little against Shane Green, but the other 2 teams that he went up against could do nothing with him. And Yoenis Cespedes, man, he's just showing out today.
Cespedes a grand slam and a 2-run homer. Meanwhile, Shane Green has done the rest.
Cespedes does a lot of stretching in the outfield.
Micah Johnson leads it off, the number 9 hitter. Johnson, Eaton, Cabrera facing Green, and it's a strike to begin the 6th inning. Johnson had a single, stole a bag in the 3rd, but no damage done. Shane has been helped out by 3 double plays in this game.
His stuff today has been simply wicked, whether it be the 2-seamer anywhere from 89 to 93 with a lot of late life. The changeup. There's the changeup. It's got some fading action to it. He's got the breaking ball at a couple different speeds. This is the first time that James McCann has caught Shane Green in the regular season. He caught him in spring training. But they haven't missed a beat today.
Nope, not at all.
It's one of the things that they say about James McCann. Not only is he very gifted athletically, but his aptitude is real high.
Getting back-to-back starts against Sale and Quintana, the 2 lefties. Swing and a miss. Johnson leaving the strike zone. 3rd strikeout of the game for Shane Green.
Hanging breaking ball that Johnson couldn't lay off of. Let's take a peek at our high-speed pitch. As always, it's brought to you by Xfinity. 93. Moving 2-seam fastball, top fastball, registered today by Mr. Green.
Eaton is 0 for 1. Let's see if this is playable. It appears to be for Castellanos. Shane gets another quick out. 2 up, 2 down here in the 6th. Here's Melky Cabrera. Base hit back in the 4th. Dart in for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cabrera's had some good years, but maybe his best was 2011 when he had 200 hits in a season with KC. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bouncer back up the middle. It's going to find a hole, and Melky Cabrera with another hit. Game break time. We go back to the studio. Matt Shepard. It's surprising me a little bit. I think it's surprising a lot of folks around baseball, don't you, Ryan?
I'm surprised by the start that he's gotten off to after missing basically the last couple of years due to injury.
Hitting with power, hitting for average, and he'll be in town beginning tomorrow night. The Yankees coming in for a 4-game series.
I know he's had the whole steroid thing going on the last number of years, but aside from that, he has been one of the most talented players I've ever watched play baseball.
That'll be outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. When did he get to the big leagues at age, what was he, 18? Yeah. With Seattle?
Yeah. I saw him in A-ball that year before he went to the big leagues. And he was head and shoulders above everybody else in the league, obviously, at 18. There was a lot of college kids in the league.
Fouled back out of play, 1-2. Yankees trying to get to 500 before they get to town. Here, the Tigers have pounded out 11 hits. They lead 9-0 in the 6th.
And Tanaka gave them an outstanding start in last night's game. I know the Yankees are very encouraged by the start they got last night from their ace, Tanaka. Tigers will see him, too, on Thursday.
There's the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Alfredo Simon will throw tomorrow night in the first game against C.C. Sabathia.
Ooh, a couple big fellas, a couple big body guys.
Still one of the best nicknames around, Big Pasta, for Alfredo Simon. Ooh, he banged that one off his foot and or leg.
It's a 91-mile-per-hour 2-seam fastball that was barreling in on Abreu. He swung at it and hit it right off of his right thigh.
Ouch.
That's like a little mosquito bite to Abreu.
2-2. So Gray now has gone 80 pitches in this game, 54 of which have been strikes. Got Abreu to knock into a double play back in the 4th. He is 0 for 2. Wind really whipping up today. Two is again banked foul. As Abreu fights off another one. 3 times last year he won the Rookie of the Month award. Finished the year 36 home runs. And that'll get down the right field line, back out of play. They've also been, Rod, using Abreu at third base, getting him some ground balls down there. In the event that maybe they might think about putting him in a game there in some interleague games.
Well, they've struggled defensively at third base with Gillespie, who's playing there today. So if they feel like, and by putting him over at third, which obviously would allow Adam LaRoche to play first base on an everyday basis, they might be a better defensive club.
In his tryouts there, his hands have been really good, they say, so we may see that in an effort to get both of them in the lineup. That's driven to right field, and it's going to get by J.D. Martinez and go to the wall. This will get a run in. Melky Cabrera coming around to score. Abreu is on his way to third base, and he's in there standing up. And the White Sox have their first run of the game. It's a 3-base hit.
I think J.D. Martinez thought he was going to catch this ball, or else he just makes sure that he keeps the ball in front of him.
And by ruling that a triple, it is the first earned run that Shane Green has given up this year. A 9-1 ball game. Here is LaRoche. Slicing one foul out of play, 0-1. Only the 5th hit allowed today by Green. Single and 2 at bats for the White Sox designated hitter today. Green's 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. LaRoche yesterday 3 for 5, including a home run. That sails outside, 2-1 the count. LaRoche was in the National League each of the last 4 years with the Washington Nationals.
The Nationals have gotten off to a slow start. They've won 5, but they've lost 7 in the National League East.
Bouncing ball, right side of the infield for Kinsler. And that is that. So Green gives up a run on the triple by Abreu. It's now 9-1. It is 9-1 now in favor of the Tigers. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning here at the ballpark, and MGM Grand Detroit brings you the scouting report on Jose Iglesias. And you see, Rod, where his hot zones are.
There's a lot of hot zones. There's a lot of red on that chart there. That 571 across the middle, that's inside. Now the 3/500s up and down, those are on balls up and away, down the middle away, and down and away that he really has been able to excel this year.
Got another double today, 2-base hit and 2 at-bats. He'll be followed by Davis and Kinsler. Matt Albers goes out for his 2nd inning of work. Chopped foul, 3rd base side.
Generally speaking, we don't put up the hot cold zones for the little fellas, but
no.
Iglesias is off to a really good start.
I never thought of that, but you're right. It's usually Miggy and
right.
Victor, not the little guys. Albers took over for Quintana in the 5th. Swing and a miss, and he's able to dust Iglesias. 1 gone. Well, time is running out. From now until midnight, get upper box tickets for just $24 to see the Tigers play the Yankees tomorrow through Thursday. Offer available exclusively at Tigers.com/Diamond Deals. Enter the coupon code DIAMOND. Pretty simple. Here's Rajai Davis. Bouncing ball, 3rd base side. Routine there for Gillespie. 2 up, 2 down.
Well, we told you Albers when he entered the game, last half inning, he throws a ton of ground balls when he's right. Outstanding sinker. He also throws a slider from that low 3/4 arm slot that he throws from.
2 years ago with Cleveland, his ground ball percentage was 81%.
Oh, my goodness.
81. Which led all American League pitchers that year. There's Kinsler. Strike 1.
Well, you pretty much know how Robin Ventura is going to use Albers this year. It's going to be in situations where they need a double play when they bring him out of that bullpen.
The 0-1 pitch. Ian with a single and 3 at-bats. Snapped an 0 for 11 with a single in the 1st and then scored later in the inning on the Cespedes grand slam. The 1-1. Pulled on the ground fair inside the bag at 3rd. Extra bases for Kinsler. Motoring to 2nd. He is in with a double. 2 out, 2-base hit for Kinsler.
Another ground ball, but it was hit right past Gillespie, who was diving that ball at the bottom of the strike zone, and all Ian did was drop the bat head on him. It's good to see Ian come back today and have a productive day.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. 3rd double of the year for Kinsler. Set up the big fella, Miguel Cabrera. The Tigers have 12 hits. They'll get back out of play 0-1. Miggy had a double off the wall and left his last time up. The sun has been doing its best to peek through the overcast today, but just haven't been able to do so. Well, Hernan Perez has moved to the on-deck circle.
I guess Victor is just not quite healthy enough to take his swings batting left-handed right now.
Out of the left he started, and now the righty Albers. Ball outside.
Miguel looking for one of those 2-seam fastballs inside that Albers has been featuring, and Miguel is one of those that will slightly open up with that front foot, which would open up the hips, and he'll look to lean on something toward left field if he gets that sinker ball inside.
One and 2.
Mickey hurt his wrist on that last swing. That's why he let the bat go. Yeah.
Kyle Drabek pitched in yesterday's ball game, warming up again today.
Home plate umpire Brian O'Nora giving Miguel a little chance to get that left wrist back in order.
bat right at the end. Swing and a miss. So Albers strikes him out. Nothing comes of the 2-out double. 6 in the books here at Comerica Park. All Tigers today.
Of the game, Yoenis Cespedes has hit a couple of home runs in the contest. One a grand slam, the other one 2-run home run variety. Third home run of this series against White Sox pitching.
He's been the big story offensively in this one today, helping to build the Tigers' 9-1 lead as we go to the 7th inning. Shane Green back to the hill. Javi Garcia leads it off, and it's in there, a strike. Green giving up the earned run. It snapped his scoreless streak at 21 2/3 innings. One ball, one strike on Garcia.
And the new additions to the Tigers have been superb. That would be Green. That would be Cespedes, of course. Iglesias missed all of last year, so he's like a newcomer. He's a keeper. David Price.
Even Tom Borsolani's been good,
right?
Another newcomer in the Tigers bullpen. Angel Nesbitt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sure is fun when a plan all comes together. In the offseason, the Tigers made some moves, and they have really paid dividends. Slow tap toward third base. Gonna let it roll foul.
Well, just like Dave Dombrowski drew it up. First order of business was to get himself a center fielder in Anthony Ghost, which he got. And then they wanted another upgrade in the outfield. They got Cespedes. They had to replace Scherzer and also Porcello, so they went out and got Simon and Green.
Two and 2 on Garcia.
Everybody says that the White Sox won the hot stove league this offseason, but the Tigers, their new additions are pretty solid.
Yep, based on the early returns, you have to give the nod to the Tigers. Well, did not go. He held up. 3 and 2. But your point about Iglesias is well taken, because even though he is a holdover, he is new to the lineup after missing all of last year, and he's been dynamite at the bottom of the lineup. There's a walk for Green, leadoff man on here in the 7th.
It's the 3rd free pass today issued by Green.
He's going to bring up Gillespie, and Jeff Jones has just hung up the telephone in contact with the Tigers bullpen. Gillespie hit one right into the shift his last time up, right to Castellanos, who was in short right field. But because of the runner at first base now, Nick will stay on the infield grass.
And Tigers have already turned in 3 double plays today. 2 of those on the ground. Here's another one.
Here's a bouncing ball to second. Kinsler, Iglesias on to first, a double play. Four, 6-3 on that twin killing. Even with the odd configuration on the infield, Tigers able to turn it.
Yeah. Reminds me a lot of Rick Porcello. Porcello was able to throw those ground balls whenever he had himself in that same type of a jam. Take a look at this graphic that we're showing you. Pitches per inning. It's just 10 this year for Green versus 17 last year. More walks. All the numbers much more positive this season regarding Green than last year.
Here's Alexi Ramirez. Inside, 2-0. You know, that last double play, the Tigers' turn rod, might be an indication of why they decided to move Castellanos to short right field and leave Iglesias on the left side.
Strikeout percentage this year for Green has also gone down, which means he's pitching to a lot more contact early. And you're absolutely right, Mario.
Because that turn at second base is much more natural for Iglesias than it would have been for the third baseman Castellanos. 3-0 on Ramirez. Make no mistake about it, though, the double play ball has been a big friend of Shane Green today.
4 of those.
Ian Kroll was warming up in the Detroit bullpen. He's taken all the way. It's a strike. And another walk.
It's the first time he's gotten to 100 pitches in a Tigers uniform. His first start of the year against Minnesota, only 85 pitches, and then his last outing against Pittsburgh, 8 innings, but he only threw 81 pitches in that game.
That'll bring up Tyler Flowers. Ground ball and a pop-up. Oh, one missing outside. White Sox got their only run in the 6th inning on a 2-out single by Melky Cabrera, and then a triple the other way by Jose Abreu. J.D. Martinez tried to stretch out to make a play and got by him. Bouncing ball to second. Going to be another ground ball out. They'll take care of the side here in the 7th. Time to stretch at the ballpark, and coming up the Dick Scott Automotive 7th inning stretch. Spin All Tigers here today on a chilly afternoon at the ballpark. 9-1. The Tigers' bats have not been cold. 15 or make it 12 hits in the game for the Tigers. 9 runs. Grand slam for Cespedes. Highlighting the scoring here this afternoon as the Tigers try and take 2 out of 3. And we have a new pitcher now in a Wallside Windows pitching change. It is Kyle Drabek.
And we saw Kyle Drabek yesterday. He pitched for the Chicago White Sox. Fastball anywhere from 90 to 93. He's got a curveball that's come straight off the table. Had some nice action on his curveball yesterday.
Well, time is running out from now until midnight. Get upper box tickets for just $24 to see the Tigers take on the Yankees tomorrow through Thursday. The offer is available exclusively at tigers.com/diamond deals. Enter the coupon code DIAMOND. Alex Avila will pinch hit to start things off. Then JD Martinez and then Yoenis Cespedes. Drabek delivers. High fly ball right field, hit pretty well. Garcia's on the move, still going back. Wrong part of the ballpark for Alex.
Well, that's exactly what you want to do when you come off the bench cold as a pinch hitter. That first fastball that you see, make sure you get a good swing at it, and Alex did.
One pitch, one gone. JD Martinez 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored for JD. Foul tip at home plate. Actually fouled off at home plate off the catcher. Shane Green, another typical Shane Green outing. Only 1 run allowed in 7 innings of work. Fouled off. 0-2. Kyle Drabek was a first-round pick of the Philadelphia Phillies, then eventually traded to the Toronto Blue Jays in a Roy Halladay deal. Got to the big leagues with Toronto. Talked about his background yesterday. His dad, Doug Drabek, pitched in the major leagues. There's a towering fly ball to left field. Cabrera has room, calling for it. And there are 2 gone. I think in the minor leagues coming up and getting his first opportunity, there was some thought that Kyle Drabek might be a pretty good big league pitcher.
Well, they thought that he was going to be a number one draft choice, as you mentioned.
He won 14 games Double-A in 2010. Then he got the call to Toronto, but never really put up consistent numbers with the Blue Jays. Dad Doug played 13 seasons in the majors. That's in for a strike. In fact, Doug won the Cy Young Award back in 1990. Cespedes, a big bat today. 2 home runs, a career high 6 RBIs.
And told you that Drabek has a pretty good breaking ball. He demonstrated that yesterday, but if he hangs one here to Cespedes on the inside part of the plate, we might be talking about a 3-homer day.
Big rip there.
He threw that cheese right by him.
One and 2 on Yoenis with Castellanos on deck. Oh, count. He bounced up and knocked the mask off the catcher, Flowers. Threw that one a little bit short.
With 2 strikes, you got to block it.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Cespedes out on strikes. And a 1-2-3 inning for Drabek. 7 in the books here at Comerica Park. On our way to the 8th. Tigers and Shane Green in command today.
Down the stretch, but the velocity with the fastball is back this year for Ian Kroll. He was up to 95, 96 all spring.
So the young man out of Hinsdale, Illinois, now living in Naperville, goes to work here in the 8th inning. Micah Johnson leads it off.
Naperville, real nice city.
There's a strike call.
It's been a couple of summers in Naperville, as a matter of fact.
Never been to Naperville, but you highly recommend it, right?
Oh, it's nice there.
Emilio Bonifacio has picked up a bad move to the on-deck circle. 0-2 the count on Micah Johnson. Johnson, Bonifacio, and then Cabrera. Another foul back. 0-2 the count stays. Kroll's only other big league time was with Washington in 2013 before the Doug Fister deal, which brought him over to Detroit. 32 appearances out of the pen for Washington 2 years ago. Well, chopper to shortstop, gonna have to hurry, and Iglesias does. He got him. He held his foot on the bag. Nice job by Miggy.
It's a do-or-die play for Iglesias, who gloves it. Very quick exchange to the throwing hand. He pulled Miggy off the bag, at least we thought, but Miggy able to hold on with that right big toe.
One out for Bonifacio. Pinch hitting for Adam Eaton. And he looks at a strike. Another strike.
A lot of life on the fastballs these days, featured by Kroll.
No issue at all with his velocity.
I don't remember him getting up to 95, 96 last year.
Something off speed there, and he just got a piece of it to stay alive. Well, Kroll took the offseason to get himself into outstanding shape. Here again is the 0-2. He missed outside, 1-2. Bonifacio has had 7 at bats this year. He's 0 for 7. Swing and a miss. Make it 0 for 8. First strikeout for Kroll, 2 gone.
It's a breaking ball that really didn't do a whole lot. At 88 miles an hour, probably throwing a little harder than he would like to throw his breaking ball, but the result is a good result.
So Melky Cabrera turns around, bats from the right side, 2 for 3 today. Single, has scored their only run.
6 hits in the last couple of days for Melky Cabrera. Gotten that batting average up to close to 270 now.
Where you knew eventually would start to climb and heading toward 300, where he hit last year, 301. Right to the center fielder Davis, and Ian Kroll has a 1-2-3 8th inning. Here come the Tigers in the bottom of the 8th, leading in 9-1.
Green was outstanding once again here today, looking to go 3-0 to start the season through a ton of ground balls, and he also got some help from his outfielders as well. 4 double plays turned in by Green, lots of first pitch strikes. He had a lot of movement on his 2-seam fastball, threw some really good sliders. Didn't need many changeups today to keep the White Sox off balance.
Tigers comfortably ahead 9-1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Castellanos will lead it off. And a wave and a miss, 0-1 for Nick. Drabek came on to get a 1-2-3 7th inning.
Nick loves that first pitch, but he has a lot of success when he swings at first pitches.
And an RBI double in the 5th inning today, 1 for 3, extending his hitting streak to 7 straight. Here are the changes in yellow for the White Sox. Bonifacio in center. Shuck takes over in left. Beckham now is at third, and Gillespie will slide to first base with Abreu out of the game, and Cabrera out of the game, and Eaton out of the game. Here's the 1-1. 1-2 on Castellanos. Bottom 3 in the Tigers lineup here in the 8th. McCann to follow, then Iglesias. Here's the 1-2 outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Action in the Detroit bullpen. Angel Nesbitt. And the 2-2. Low, 3 balls, 2 strikes. 12 Tigers hits here this afternoon. A good portion of the extra bases, 5 doubles, 1 triple, 2 homers. Built an early lead in this one with the grand slam in the first inning by Cespedes. Here's the 3-2. Bouncing ball foul. Quintana started this game, was knocked out in the 5th inning. Albers came on, and then Drabek in the 7th. And he takes it up high. Able to peel and say that he held up, ball 4. Well, it's April in the D on Fox Sports Detroit. Join us again Tuesday for round 1. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Red Wings host the Lightning. Our coverage begins at 6 p.m. with Red Wings Live. Red Wings Lightning Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Fox Sports Detroit. Here's McCann now. Tripled in his first at bat, 1 for 3 for McCann. In there is strike 0-1. No balls, 2 strikes on the Tigers catcher. McCann's triple his first time up was his first major league 3-bagger. And the 0-2. Low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. He might have hit that second ball in his second at bat even harder. Ball to left center.
Yeah, he did jump all over that one. Eaton, who was in center field at the time, made a nice play.
And the 1-2. Swing and a miss to strike him out. 1 away here in the 8th. Now for an update of what's coming up post-game on Tigers Live, we send it down to Justin White.
Hey Mario, Shane Green actually gave up an earned run today. Can you believe it? Now regardless, we're going to talk to him inside the Tigers clubhouse after the game. Matt Shepard's in the Coliseum studios, and we'll talk to Brett Ausmus about all those extra base hits for his offense today. Tigers Live right after the game. Mario and Rod, back to you for now.
All right, Justin, thanks. Should be a happy locker room here this afternoon. Iglesias stands in and looks at a strike. Double and 3 at bats for Jose. He's got a 5-game hitting streak now. The average at .447. No balls, 2 strikes. Drabek came on in the 7th and got him 1-2-3, couple of fly balls and a strikeout. He's pitching here in the 8th. Here's the 0-2. Pop up back to short, and Alexi Ramirez goes back to make the play. It'll be a 1-for-4 day for Iglesias. 2 outs. Chance now for Rajai Davis. Davis had an RBI single in his second at bat here today. Otherwise, a couple of ground balls and a fly out for the Tigers center fielder. Tigers have seen, what, 2 lefties here against Chicago, and they got Sabathia tomorrow night, so that's 3 lefties in a row.
All right.
So it looks like Rajai will get another start tomorrow if Brad keeps according to plan.
And you wonder if that will be the 3rd consecutive start for James McCann as well.
Good point. Here's the 2-0. Davis sends a ground ball left side, deep in the hole. Ramirez will get the force at second. That will end the inning. No runs, a walk, one left. We go to the ninth. There were some ejections in that game, so that rivalry is becoming a little bit heated.
Well, it's probably a good thing that they're not in the same division, because it looks like somebody's going to get hurt if they were happy to play each other 19 times.
Angel Nesbitt has come on now to try and get the final 3 outs here. Gordon Beckham will lead things off against Nesbitt, and he looks at a strike.
You were talking about that slide by Brett Lawrie. He was hit yesterday by Ventura. 99-mile-per-hour fastball right in the ribs.
Ooh. Yeah, Ventura can bring it. If you missed that whole thing a couple of nights ago, Lawrie slid hard in second base on a forced play and took out Alcides Escobar, who sprained his knee.
It was a bad slide by Brett Lawrie.
Now the 1-1 outside, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Tigers looking to win their 4th consecutive series to start the season.
Pretty good. Would be a 10-2 start. Chop foul. Beckham, the veteran, back in White Sox colors after being dealt over late last year to the Angels for the stretch run. Here's the 2-2, and it's on the ground to short and through, base hit. Beckham is going to go all the way to second base as that ball hit the gap. So he starts things off with a double.
Menards brings you the big money encounter. We were talking about James McCann and just how well he's been seeing the baseball today. Well, he tripled in his first at bat. As a matter of fact, his first career triple in the big leagues.
Leadoff 2-base hit for Gordon Beckham. Here is LaRoche. 1 for 3 in the game. Singled in the second. It's only the 6th hit that the White Sox have had. Fouled back out of play 0-1.
You know, you were talking about Jose Abreu and the fact that he has started to take some ground balls over at third base, just in case they want to put Adam LaRoche at first base and put Abreu at third base. But They might be better served by just simply slipping Gordon Beckham over to third base. He's got an outstanding glove if defense is what they're looking for.
Yeah, and he made some really good plays in the first game in this series. I mean, really good defensive plays. The 0-1 slides inside.
Gillespie is a much better hitter than Gordon Beckham.
Miguel Cabrera's played some third base and first base.
And he's pretty good at both of those positions.
Remember when Miggy went to third base, everybody was thinking, oh my goodness, this is not going to be good.
Yeah. And all he did was go out and win a Triple Crown. Which made people forget all about that defense.
No doubt. Of course, Miggy also played outfield in his Marlins days. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Miguel Cabrera celebrated his 32nd birthday yesterday.
Garcia waiting on deck. Bouncing ball right side. Kinsler knocks it down, has time. LaRoche is out, advance the runner. 1 out with Beckham at third. Tiger bullpen has been really good in the early going as well. They're 4 for 4 in save opportunities.
And every time there's been an inherited runner that they've inherited, they've stranded the majority of those guys too. So they've been much better than a lot of people think.
They have stranded 12 of the 13 inherited runners this year.
I knew it was way up there.
Garcia fouls it off. There you go. Here's how good the Tigers bullpen has been. Opponents hitting just .211 compared to .273 through 11 games last year. ERA is down a run. 0-2 now on Garcia. Bullpen has not been much of a factor early on this season because Tiger starters have gone, by and large, most of the games deep into the games. But as the season progresses, they certainly will be counted on more and more. Shane Green went deep into today's game, going 7 strong.
Shane Green looking to go 3-0 to start the season.
Swing and a miss. Garcia's out on strikes. Nesbitt has his first strikeout, 2 away.
It's a well-located breaking ball at 85 miles an hour thrown by Nesbitt.
Last chance now for the White Sox. Here is Connor Gillespie. Nine-1 Tigers with 2 outs in the 9th. About to take 2 out of 3 from the White Sox. Crowd coming to its feet now. And it's hit for a strike. Gillespie hit into a double play in his last at bat. He's 0 for 3 in this game. Nesbitt's 0-1. That'll get foul. 0-2 now on Gillespie. 30,357 here this afternoon on a chillier day today than it was yesterday. Or the day before, for that fact. Shane Green 1 strike away from notching his 3rd win. Here's the 0-2. Driven foul down the right field line. He followed the Tigers all season long in 2015 with MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. And Bat is up to the moment. Live look-ins, replays, and a whole lot more. Check it out for your smartphone or your tablet. drifted inside.
I thought Brian O'Nora was getting ready to go up with that right hand. He flinched.
I think it pulled my hamstring there.
He flinched.
That was close. Clearly in, though. Brian O'Nora thought about it. Now Nesbitt with the 1-2 pitch. Right at Cabrera. And the Tigers will win this one today and going away in impressive fashion. 9-1 behind Shane Green.
Shane Green goes to 3 wins and no losses on the season. The Tigers win their 4th consecutive series to begin the season.
Big bats, outstanding pitching. Tigers win here today, and we'll be back.